Looks like I'm on there. Um, all these things popping up every time. This is a very old laptop. I don't know, and it still has Windows 7 on it, and I don't want to change it. Somebody's here. Can you tell me if my sound's okay? Whoever's here. I think I spelled that wrong. Okay. I don't know if I should start just getting into what I want to talk about. I just know this is a very divisive maneuver that they're trying to pull on the people. And oh my God, here's another one. Stop it. Okay. I'm having so many problems with everything. Right now, I'm having big time problems with my email. Trying to just talk to people, and I keep my whole email thing while I'm right in the middle of a letter, and it just freezes, and just all kind of different weird things happening to me. And I'm sure other people, but some people probably don't even notice it. So anyhow, I'm not sure this is the best time of the day to be doing this or not. I'm in Washington State, and it's 4:25 right now. So I'm trying to get people to tell me when they would like to come on, what's best for you, wherever you are. Um, can someone tell me, whoever's here, tell me if oh my God, here we go. If my sound is okay, do I need to turn it up? All right, I can't tell how loud this is. Oh, that's pretty loud. Oh no, it's pretty high. Doesn't need to be that high. Okay. So, okay. When I came in, where I usually do this, there were two people laying on these seats where I usually do this. And just young people. They're just so, I don't know. You can tell the parenting's not good. The young people are all messed up right now. They're being so disrespectful to their elders, and not being not being very nice. Well, the one guy was nice when he left. He said, "Have a good day." Boy, did he smell. Oh my God, these people smell. They were just literally laying flat on these um, couch, whatever you call these seats. Two different people, a guy and a girl, just sitting there taking up space where I usually go, not doing anything. They're just like sleeping there or something while they were waiting for someone. So I don't know. I don't think my videos or my notices are going out to people. I mean, it shouldn't take this long for people to be coming on. So I don't even know if it's going out. And nobody's responding to, I don't know, sometimes it says 0 when there's people in here. Oh, see, it still says 0 in there. Hi, Okie, how you doing there, dude? Haven't talked to you for a while. What's up in your neck of the woods? Where are you these days? I don't think YouTube is sending out very many announcements or something. They're like, I'm getting buried, I think. Where are you now? In Serbia. Oh, right, cool. Tell Nikki I said hi. I still weigh 142, just like him. Thank you. Thank you. What's it like in Serbia? What's the weather? Is it like, it just got super cold here. It went from summer to like fall, just like boom, just quickly. It went from hot to cold. I mean, it's not super cold, but it's going down into the 50s. So it was raining. Oh, we haven't had any rain, and Washington is known for rain. It just constantly rains here, but right now it's not raining. It's not been raining, but that is usually typical. So what would the temperature be? I think our high today was like 63 or something. Well, it's not hot here anymore. I mean, it's warm if you stand in the sun, or if I park in the sun and it gets hot in my vehicle, but it's like I do have air conditioning up in the front, but I have to run my vehicle. And as it is, I'm only getting 10 miles to a gallon of gas. And the gas just went up like, I think it went up like almost 50 cents a gallon. So I don't know, it's for something, but I don't know. And that's the cheapest place I can go. That's on the Indian reservation where the gas is cheaper than it is, because it's like $5 in town and other, most of the places. Huh. Well, some people probably wear t-shirts now still well, it's still fall. Fall. This is usually my favorite month of the year. September is when it's nice weather. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. Um, and it's also the harvest season. Like August and September are like big harvest season. It's also the big loosh season too. The veil is thinning around this time of the year, and this is when they do a lot of their rituals. So I think that's what the whole Charlie Kirk thing was. If you've been following that and knowing that it's not real, I mean, there's so many things that people are, like slowing down the videos and point things out, and there's too many anomalies and just way too many red flags that said it's not. The pyramid, ooh, that's cool. Do you have to pay to go to the pyramids, or can anybody I mean, you could see them, but do you have to pay some kind of admission? Can you go inside? Is there anything? Are you for him or against him? I ain't believing this nonsense. There's just way too much stuff. It looks like I mean, it could be CGI. I think it's holograms that, it's just whatever. There's so many stories going around, and I think it's just meant to get people to fight, to bring on the Civil War, to get the World War III going, which World War I never even ended. So, oh, I thought you were, like, rooting for him, like he's some kind of. Look what they're building they're going to build some kind of thing. They're collecting money. They've already gotten almost $5 million. People sending money to multi-billionaires and millionaires or whatever. He started at 17. He got money to start all up and do his thing. And it was just so obvious. And the wife, when she was 17 too, got money in their, sure. They aren't their kids. They're not their kids. I don't believe that. Just like Obama, they're not their kids. They used their doctor's kids when they needed to do the photo ops. I'm sure you know that. Check your channel. Okay. It is said she trafficked. Ooh, really? Erica. Is that a dude? Or because Charlie looks like a female to me. He's got all the female features. He's got and her head next to his. Her head's bigger than his. He's got the high, he's got the close set eyes, which is a feminine thing. He's got no cheekbones, which is a masculine thing. A male trait is high cheekbones. But they've tricked people so much that they see the high cheekbones on women, which are really men, so they think it's a female trait when it's not. Okay, well, you could place your channel, the name of your channel on here in case anybody else wants to do it. Yeah, well, there was some kind of shape-shifting going on in all this blood. You could see, and then the so-called witnesses, which are crisis actors, are getting all their stories all mixed up. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, because it looks almost too obvious that they're saying that, first the narrative saying that it looks like he got shot in the neck, but these eyewitnesses are saying he got shot in the heart, in his chest, and it's just too obvious. And I think they're doing it on purpose to gaslight us, and they're probably laughing the hell out at us. Okay, is your Oki the name of your channel? Oki something? You still don't know. I don't think he got shot. They slowed down the footage, and you could see the blood. Like, okay, people were talking about the squibs, which are the little Hollywood little machine, or not machines, but devices that they use to make the blood squirt out. So, they slowed it way down, and you could see the blood. It went down, but and then it went back, and it didn't land on his shirt. Why doesn't he have blood all over him? And if it was a 30-06, like they said, a rifle, that type of rifle can kill an elephant. I had one. I had a Remington 30-06. They are high-powered guns, and it would have almost blew his head off. He would have had a bigger hole. Where's the exit wounds? Where's the blood all splattered behind him? Why isn't that there? Why isn't it on his white shoes? You could see his tennis shoes when he's getting carried away, and then they're carrying him away to a black SUV. Why isn't he going in an ambulance on a stretcher? No, there's a bunch of guys just carrying him and throwing him in the car. And then the other thing is they broke down the crime scene. Just no cops are there. They didn't, put all the caution tape up and make everybody stay away. Oh, here we go, another one of these things. And they just, like, it was a crime. If it was a crime, if there was really a crime that happened, why aren't there cops there? Why aren't they getting everybody cleared out of the area and section it off and put the tape around that they do on any crime scene? That there alone tells you it's not real. It can't be. You can't just disassemble a whole crime scene without taking the evidence and doing all the investigations and stuff like that. They just broke it down like any Hollywood set. They came in and undid the whole thing and took it away. Yeah, I saw Russian Vids do some of it too. Yeah, there's a lot of crisis actors. And some of the same crisis actors have played in other events, like Handy Sook or whatever, the different repeaters, like that old man with his pants down. Like, come on, that's not real. Who the heck does that? Like, they're going to, let an old man just be like that. It's disgracing him and stuff. We will soon see Charlie's face as an astronaut, like the Challenger. I mean, it's just so laughable at this point. It's like, I can't believe people believe this nonsense. And people are like wanting to argue. I mean, not so much with me because I haven't been engaged in it, but I've been watching other people saying stuff to people that are presenting it and leaving comments and stuff and say this, that, and the other thing. And they can't think this through, that this is not like, for one thing, do they believe that when they watch a movie where there's violence and people are getting shot up and killed or stabbed or whatever the case may be, all that blood and all that stuff and gore to make it look real, can't they transpose that and say into like this and say this is Hollywood acting, this is Hollywood props and all that, what's called the squib is the thing, and you could see it on his shirt where the line like was sort of had like a crease in it or something that went up where, and people are thinking that the guy next to him or on his would have been on his right side was the one that shot him. And even if he didn't shoot him, the other so-called shooter shot from that side. Why would it be on his right side of his neck if they shot from over here? It wouldn't happen. And it, even no matter where they did, his neck would have probably been blown off. People don't realize how high powered of a rifle that is. I mean, I literally had one. I know when I did it, man, it recoiled. It kicked me back really hard. It almost knocked me over. But I was younger then, so I was a lot stronger. Okay, while a million of people are murdered in Gaza and 30 million in Sudan, but Charlie is dead. Ooh, yeah, right. At 31, and all the fakeness about her doing the whole thing over the coffin. Who does that? She's gonna allow. She's got this such a private life that they can't show their kids or their wedding or anything. But then she could do that over a casket, lean over it, and let somebody film her close up like that. You know, somebody had to be taking that footage. So it's, you know, it's not her doing a selfie or anything like that. You know, and all her stupid rings and stuff that everybody gets to talk about. Oh my God, she get the, you know, the Freemason rings and stuff. That's all there for people to see and talk about and stuff while they do other things behind her back, like change, you know, do different types of changes to laws and different. What did they pass? They passed something while all that was going on. Some kind of law got enacted or some. I'm not sure. I forget what it was, but there's a couple of things that actually went down during that, and that's what they used them for. They used them to get people to talk about this and that while they're doing shit over here and passing laws or different kind of. Well, they also, the Department of Defense is now the Department of War. I mean, that alone is a big thing that it's just gone from that to that. Like, people don't even know that even happened. A lot of people don't. Yeah, I know she has the G ring, but they put that there for us to see, and everybody talks about it. That's not even important. I think that whole all that Masonic stuff, the you know, whether it's probably true or whatever, I don't know, but they put that in our face, right in our face. So it shows they're not hiding anything anymore. It's getting ridiculous now how obvious these things are, and people, if people believe them, man, they're like nuts. Okay, wait. They started a robot army now, but nobody noticed due to all the Charlie story. Where's the robot or army at? They moved Space Force to Alabama. Is that where the army is? The robot army you're talking about? She modeled for Trump and was casting children to get kidnapped in Romania. Had her own church. She had a church in Romania. I didn't hear that. I don't know about that. But I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I guess she's some type of witch or something. I don't get what that means. So what was her church supposedly preaching? What type of church is it? Is it just like a money laundering type thing, the 501(c) things or whatever they're called? I mean, what is the whole? I mean, because they're obviously like fake Christians. And he wasn't a Christian, and all of a sudden he's Christian. I don't know. This whole Christian thing feels off and weird too. I mean, not to put down Christians, but just that they're making it like they're attacking the Christians. But everybody in the world's under attack. I'm under big time attack with the shit that they're doing to me. Evangelical ministry, the NASA Nazi base, Redstone. I don't know about that. What's Redstone? Yeah, I bet. It's just gross, the things that, yeah. And then the whole pageants and stuff that Trump always had, he was like big on that, and I'm sure, can you imagine the trafficking that must go on through those pageants with all those little girls? That's insane. And the grooming and who knows what they're doing. I'm trying to like balance things out, like do things that are like take me away from that, like do comedy and just do stuff in real life. Like I just been playing a couple times this week. I've been playing pinochle. Do you know how to play pinochle, Okie? Because most people do not know how to play that. I mean, it's like intelligent people can play it. It's like a hard card game to play. So I found some people that I can play that with, and so that's good. And then I get like I'm doing stuff and trying to do stuff in real life to take me away from the screen and not, stay so, soaked up with all this dark stuff that they want us to be all upset and scared about. Pinochle, it's called pinochle. Here, let me see if I'll spell it. It's popular among Slavic people. My family's all Czechoslovakian and, that kind of background. And so my family were poker players and pinochle players. But that was like my aunts and uncles and grandparents and like that. But my own family, my own siblings, sisters and brothers, none of them played it that I know of. I don't think they did. I was the most intelligent in my family. And not that any of them were really like stupid or anything like that, but they were like I have a different father than the whole rest of my family. I never met my father. He German background. His name is Stang. That's all I know. Like how old he would be, but he would be 95 now if he was still alive. And the last I knew of, he was in Georgia. But I was born in New York, and my mom had some kind of affair going on with this guy while she was married to the guy that I was told was my father, who was not my father. So that's why I changed my whole name and everything to cut loose from all those family ties that I was not related to, that were essaying me. And, my mom did not protect me from these perverts. And so I still am not too happy about my mom. I mean, I did a lot of forgiveness because she used to beat me physically and then psychologically abuse me, while this other dude is sexually abusing me. So, and my other uncle, that was his brother, and some stuff with my cousin. My cousin just died a couple months ago. It's getting down to that I have like hardly any family left. My older brother that I thought was my uncle turns out to be my brother because I think my grandfather raped my mother and she had a child to him. So it was an incestuous thing, and my grandmother raised him, and that explains why he wasn't part of our family. And so, oh, hi, Tommy. How you doing? Yeah, well, I bet you there's so much of this essaying going on in a lot of families, and people are too ashamed to talk about it. But if they don't talk about it, they need to talk about it to heal from it, and to help put an end to this. I put a generational end to what was happening in our family. I don't know. I don't think it's happening anymore. It stopped with me because I was aware of it and I became conscious of it. And no, you're not going to shut me up about this. Oh, it's like 1:45 in the morning or in the afternoon. So you guys know each other, Tommy? You know Oki? And I don't know who else is here. Not everybody's talking, but that's okay. Um, but yeah, I had to do a lot of inside work, healing stuff to to get over that stuff. And I told my mom, she did apologize and said she's sorry for all the things that she did to me. And I told her I forgave her. But there were some other things that just the fact that the last time when I told her that this was happening to me at the very time it happened to me, like 5 minutes before it happened to me when I was at my aunt's house, her boyfriend was molesting me. And I told my mom about it, and she went and took my aunt, her sister, into the other room and talked about it. And then guess what happened? Nothing. It was never talked about ever again. And from that moment on, I became an adult at 9 years old. That was the last time I got abused by any family member. Um, and I was my own parent from then on. I did not, my mom was not even protecting me at all. So I was on my own. And that's when I made the decision at 9 o'clock, at 9 years old, to go into the field that I went into. The healing arts started with cosmetology, which I went and got my teacher's license. I did massage and healing work and all that kind of stuff. I had 3 part-time jobs at 15 while I was going to school for my training. At the same time, I was going through high school, taking all my high school classes, which were the upper classes like high math, language, all the kind of higher educational things. Because I came out of a Catholic school. So in 8th grade, like ninth grade was such a breeze for me, even though I took all the harder subjects. At the same time, I was going through my trade training. Robin, which Robin are you? Hi, Robin. Oh, okay. Thank you. You're in Toronto and it's 7:48. Okay. Um, I lived in Canada for like 6 years. That's how I ended up in Washington because I left California in 1995 with my daughter when she was like 3 years old, and we went to Canada. Had to sneak into Canada. At first, I got turned away and had to turn around and go back through another entrance port to get in, and I finally did. And I stayed there for 6 years until I ended up having to get a divorce, and that took me out of the country because of his shenanigans, fucking cheating on me and doing drugs. Just it was a nightmare. He wasn't daddy material. He was. I mean, he's probably a good now, but once he got over all the drugs and all his idiocracy. Yes, I am in Washington. So Washington, I'm right at the border. Like if it's only like the border's like 2 blocks away from here. I'm at the library, and you could just walk into Canada. Well, you can't just walk in. I mean, I've had 2 encounters where I wasn't planning on going in, but it was during the whole friggin' mass situation. And I wasn't even trying to get in Canada. I wanted to turn around and go back, but they had it blocked. So I was trapped in there for like 4 hours. And they called in Homeland Security because I would not put that mask on. They threatened to put me in a cell, and they did. I said, you do what you got to do. And then they didn't know what to do once we had me in the cell, and I wasn't behaving and doing what they were saying. So they had to call in Homeland Security. And even then, they did not make me wear the mask because it's not a law, it's a mandate. There's a big difference. And actually, the guy complimented me, the big top Homeland Security guy says, I don't usually do this stuff. He says, but I just happened to be around today, so they had me get on your case. He says, he thought so highly of me that I stood up for my rights and that I didn't back down from him. He actually praised me and complimented me and everything. And I just wouldn't do it. And I never did. I never put the mask on. And there was nobody else there. There was only one other guy from Ethiopia there. Next, Kamana, what is that? What are you asking there? Can you sue them for that? I don't know what you're talking about there, Okie. Next, come on. I don't know what that means. And I don't know who, oh, sue who? The border police for what? For putting me in a jail cell? Possibly. I don't know. I had a worse time when they threw me in jail in Florida. The things that happened there, I should have, but then I would have had to stay in Florida and keep coming back and forth to court. And they probably, I don't know. They did throw out all the charges. I had 3 charges against me in Florida that none of them held up. And they searched my car without a warrant. And because I live in my home, I found out that's if I live in my car and that's my home, they can't search it unless they have a warrant. But now with this whole thing that Trump is doing, making it criminalizing homelessness. Come on, man, look at this nonsense what's happening here. Yeah, well, yeah, for that I mean I got out of it. I didn't have to do it and I could have, but the thing I had happen to me in Florida was way worse. I spent 9 days in 23-hour lockdown in that jail. I get out for 1 hour a day. That's not outside or out and doing anything. It was just outside of the little cage I was in and in a room that was, I don't know, maybe it was like 12 by 12 feet, which I just walked that to get my exercise. A big square. That's all. And the things that I encountered there was insane. The stuff I went through there. Oh. They actually, when I first went in, the guard who had me taking me to go get my clothes to put on, this jumpsuit or whatever you call it, I was still handcuffed with my hands behind my back. And when we got around the bend from the cameras, she pushed me. And if I had felt like right now, my vertigo is so bad, I don't know that I would have been able to hold up my balance like I did then. Because I could have fell and busted my face and teeth and nose and everything because my hands were behind my back and I had no way to break my fall. That was that was just part of the beginning. And of course, I didn't want to do all their shit. I didn't want to go through their machines that fucking ultrasound you and stuff like that. Don't trust ultrasound, man. That stuff is fucking radiation poisoning. Oh, I see. It's a town. Okay. Oh, in Command. Shoot. That I had a friend there too. It's like a different part. I think it's like the United States and then Canada. Actually, I was living in Victoria, which is west of Washington. It's not north like the border here is like going into north, like in towards to Vancouver. That's where my daughter lives. And that's why I stay in this area to be close to her. So, but I ended up in Washington, leaving Canada after 6 years of living there. But it's like here's Washington, and then over west of that is these islands where I lived on Salt Spring Island. I also lived in Victoria for a little bit too. Florida. Well, that was back in, let me see, that was like 5 years ago that happened. When I first was doing, living in my van, living like in my car. At that time, I still had my 94 Cadillac, which I loved. And that car was in such good shape. I ended up leaving it behind because I bought another car. The guy told me it was bigger and talked me into it. And then I didn't even make it back home. And the engine or the transmission blew out that he said he rebuilt, which he didn't. Because the people at, the experts said there's no way he rebuilt that transmission. Sorry. And after 3 weeks of sitting there, I finally got in a parking lot. Someone drove a car to me and I bought it from them and was able to go back home. I just put the keys on the console and just left the whole, it was a, what do they call it? I forget. It's a SUV. I can't think of the name of it right now. I don't know about millions, but it could have been a lawsuit, I guess. People are getting millions of dollars for some of the things the cops are doing now. Are you guys paying attention to what the cops are doing to people? But I'm starting to wonder, some there's so much weirdness going on with the cop stuff. I'm wondering how much of it is real, if it's really happening, or how much of it is staged. Because it's some of it looks pretty staged. There's so many things staged going on. Okay. Um, Hi Iron. How you doing? Um, Welcome. He'll teach you how to sue them. Who? Jason Matthew. I don't know who that is. I know there's different things that people need to learn about their licenses and stuff. Right now, I cannot get car insurance. What do you think of that? I cannot get it anywhere. I had um my agent that I had for Progressive or whatever it was, that I got my whole RV um, insured, and it was pretty cheap considering. And then all of a sudden, I had an accident, and I didn't. Somebody hit me. I got blamed for it because of this friggin' cop that's here. That I found out that he has this. He hates women, and it explains why he kept coming after me. So when I was in that accident, he said that the guy, it was my fault, even though it shows that the guy hit me on the side of my RV, just crashed into me as he was pulling out of a parking spot. But he pulled back into that parking spot and got out of the car and told the cop that the car was just sitting there and I plowed into it. You could see my car is hit on the my RV was hit on the side. Did I drive sideways into his car? It just, if he thought it through, but he didn't want to think it through because he wanted to come after me as a woman. And it turns out that I found out he's no longer on the force, which I can relax because he was coming and making me leave all the places where I would park at night and make me drive somewhere else. And then he'd follow me and make me move again. He was just doing it on purpose to harass me. It was total harassment. So then I found out that he's not there anymore. And I said it to somebody, this older man we were talking about the cops in this town. And I said, well, at least that one cop that was harassing me isn't here anymore. He goes, oh, he's gone. I didn't even say his name or anything. He knew exactly who I meant. He says he's not there anymore. So he says he was doing it to all the women. He hated them. He was mean. He was a big guy too. He was just a big pussy, man. Well, we started off talking about it could be anything. You can talk about anything you want. I started talking a little bit about the whole craziness going on with the whole Charlie Kirk clown show going on. If anybody here thinks that's real, you don't belong in my channel for sure. I mean, anybody's welcome to come, but if you really think that is in any way, shape, or form real, really happened like they presented, you don't want to be here because this is not the place for you. If you want to defend all that nonsense that they're doing, that's a pure distraction thing, and who knows what else is. Sorry, you're gonna keep hitting these things, keep popping up for me now all the time. I don't know who David Wynn Miller is. Who is he? Who's David Wynn Miller? I don't know. I kind of just check in and see what people are talking about, like, and see where they're at, and it's like it's letting me know who is easily duped and falling for this shit that is not real. I mean, if they can't understand, how can they not think about, like, movies, how they do all this stuff in movies, and people can't understand that it doesn't have to be real to look real. And I think it's holograms and CGI and a bunch of all kind of different stuff that they have access to that they can do. he's saying that Iron's saying the Kirk thing doesn't add up, doesn't really make a lot of sense. The timing of it makes it feel even more convincing that it's a distraction. Well, yeah, things were actually happening while that was going on. While everybody was focused on that, they were doing shit behind the scenes. So, I was aware that that could be happening. I don't know exactly all the things that happened, but I know that some things were happening. Some, I don't know if they were passing legislation. I knew that the Department of Defense, the DOD, is now the DOW, the Department of War. So I think we're going into the next stage of the PSYOP to start to incite the Civil War, which has been in brewing. But this is really turning people against each other. That's all part of the plan, and they know it, that they're getting people to fight and take sides. And they're fighting with each other instead of uniting and coming together and fight the real fucking enemy, the controllers, the ones that are doing all this shit to us and trying to insult our intelligence with this, because it's so friggin' obvious now that this is all to mess with our consciousness and to get people afraid, to get people fighting. That's the big thing that they're doing. They want people to fight with each other. So I was trying to talk to someone that I'm friends with and and he just is like being, I guess he's more of a normie than I thought he was. I really thought he was. I mean, he talks about people not being awake, but he's a Trump supporter. He's a Q-tard. He's doing all these things that show me where he's at, even though he has some good information. The other stuff he talks about and defends and stuff like that is like, it's all like political nonsense and, stuff I don't fall for, that I'm surprised he falls for it at all. And I like him and I respect him and everything, but he's got a good information on the food and stuff, but when it comes to politics, he thinks it's all good and kosher and stuff. Okay, even the messages that implicate Tyler don't seem something a 22-year-old would text. That's pretty obvious. The whole thing about that is another, just, it wasn't that the same scenario we saw in Butler, Pennsylvania? It was the same playbook, the same old stage and nonsense. First of all, where's the security? The security should see him long before anybody else sees him. Who's taking the footage of him running off the roof and dropping down? And the whole nonsense with the gun doesn't make sense at all. And he had it in his pants, like as if you could jump off of a roof. I mean, you're lucky you can do that without a big long gun like that. That's a huge gun. I had one. I had a 30-06. The the United Snakes of America. It's been that. Who want to make it? It's been that already. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think it's all nonsense. That's why I don't believe it. What's happened there? Hi, Ariel. Aurelia. But it used to be called the Department of War until the Second World War. Maybe it was, but I don't think the First World War ever ended. We're still living under, people think they're free and they got all this. You can't just do what you really want to do. Like you can't walk over a line, a border. You can't walk from one state to another or to a country. There's just so many controls on us. And I've been watching all this stuff unfolding I've been here I'm in my 8th decade in this shithole that could be a paradise, but it's not when we have to live like this. And now I have even more stuff to like contend with now that they're trying to do this stuff to the homeless people. So I don't know. And in my like little area here, where like actually it's Bellingham, mostly there's a little bit of homelessness in this little town I'm in now, but the bigger town of Bellingham, which is like 20 miles away, there used to be big encampments of homeless people in a couple of different places. They're all gone. They just, where did they go? Where did they take them? Are they killing these people, or what are they doing? I don't know that. I mean, what's the point of busing somebody to another state or somewhere else? And then they have the problem over there. It's just moving the problem around. It's not correcting the problem. So I don't know if is that happening in any of your areas, that thing? The other thing I'm noticing is the building of the roundabouts everywhere, so that it's not to make traffic safer. That's to keep us trapped. When they start saying papers please, when you're trying, they slow you down and start bottleneck you, and you can't escape. They're just going up all over place everywhere. Is that happening in your town? All those roundabouts that weren't there before. They're not fixing the potholes, but they're putting in new roundabouts that we don't need. They actually confuse people, and probably, it slows traffic down, yeah, for sure, and frustrates people. So much of what they do is meant to frustrate us, to work on our emotions, our fears, people are saying, oh, I'm just boiling mad. That's exactly what they want. People don't realize they're feeding the machine. They're like, I have my little hashtag that says starve the loosh bags, so that people are aware that well, most people aren't going to be aware. There's way more normies than there are us people that are awake and understanding and seeing what's going on. You think that's where it's all going? I wouldn't doubt it. I know that there is human parts, or whatever you want to call it, in the food system. They are setting it up, and people are addicted to the food. There's all these chemicals, and all these people, or babies, or the HEK, human embryonic kidney 293, that's going into the foods. If you're eating at fast foods, bye. And if even at the what I call the stupid market, the food in there, 90% of that food is contaminated somehow. I mean, and it used to be like they would say it's healthy to shop around the outer perimeter of the store, the grocery store, which may have been a little more so than all the packaged processed foods in the center, which have the natural flavoring in it. And to me, that's what the natural flavoring is, people and babies, insects, all that shit is as natural as it gets. So people are eating people. So I believe that's the setup for the zombie apocalypse. When they cut the food source off, people will start eating each other because they're already primed for it. I don't know if this video is going to be able to stay up talking about this kind of stuff. Of course you would, Aurelia. Don't think I don't know who you are either. Also, the water in the cities is from people who died. Well, there's probably lots of pollution in the water. So like I don't even know where to get water anymore. I've been buying it from those machines, those, what are they called? Primo. And allegedly they filter it through multiple filters. Some of them do say they take out the fluoride, some of them don't, but you have to have special filters for that. Some of these water places are barely filtering it at all. So it's probably equivalent to a Brita or a pure filter, those little ones that you could buy for like $50 to set up, $40. I don't know what they cost now. They are literally adding aluminum to the water that is filtered. So you can see that. And the other thing about bottled water is I don't know where to post it, but maybe I could do it on my community page. But there's a list of all the things that contain microplastics And the biggest, longest line is bottled water. It's worse than the tap water when it comes to the microplastics. I literally have plastic coming out of my body because I'm detoxing so much and doing my, plasma water. I'm going to make a video. I almost had started to make a video back like almost a year ago now. It was probably last November. Yeah, it was like the beginning of November. And then I got hit up somehow with the weapons and whatever they can do. It did something to me. I was not able to function. If you look and see, I did not do a live stream for like a half a year because I was so under that effect of that, what they're doing to people. It is, I am experiencing what they call Havana syndrome. Plus, before that, it was Morgellons. Before that, it was fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue. These are all weapons of, to hurt people. Some of us are getting it. Some people have it and don't even know they have it. They don't understand why they feel the way they do. But because most people, wait, graveyards are never becoming bigger. Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that. Just always say the same side. What do? Just keep putting them in between each other so they're all lined up. The other thing, there was something else along that line. I can't think of it now. So, cause most people are recycled. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, how do we know who's real and who's not real? It's like, because my daughter's like a normie, and I hate to think of her as like an NPC. It's scary, I don't, now they're like pushing the narrative to not have children, but that's just what they want. That's all helping out with the depopulation agenda. I just drink only water with plasma now. No more potable water, only plasmatic. So do you do it with the sea salt? Is that what you're saying? Because I do a gallon of water a day and I add 2 tablespoons to that gallon of water. I drink like three liters in the morning and help it at, you drink so much and then you start to flush. Every day I flush. So my body is getting more and more cleaned out and more hydrated. My skin is getting so nice and soft. Aside from these damn Morgellon like things I get still hitting me up. But and people don't know about that. So my friend's not getting it. I'm trying to help him understand that what's going on, and he thinks it's just all about the food. He doesn't realize that these things are, a certain amount of it is the food that we eat and consume that's going to affect us. But it's beyond just the food. There's so many angles they're hitting us at. Like, okay, look at all the vitamins, the supplements. If you're taking the vitamins, you're taking chemicals, you're addicted to the chemicals. I take 0 supplements. You know who brings you the supplements? Don't you? It's coming from Big Pharma. They're the ones supplying all the meds, all the medication, all the crap that's everywhere. I mean, it's in the food, it's in the air, it's in the soil, it's in the water, it's just everywhere. It's almost like no getting away from it. So anyhow, I hope not. Okay. So yeah, if I'm by the ocean, I will go harvest it because when I was in North Carolina, I got some, but then that heat wave was there and I was so sick for like 3 weeks. I only stayed there 2 days because I got sick first I was in, like I made the whole trip. I left Washington, went down through Washington. I met up with a couple of friends in Washington. And then I kept going through Oregon and California. I met up there with some people. And then I started heading east, heading to Arkansas. No, first I went to Oklahoma and met up with a couple friends there. And then I went to, well, it was one friend, and I don't see him here. But then I went from Man, I always get them mixed up. I went from Oklahoma to Arkansas, visited a couple of friends there, and that's where I started getting sick because the heat started to come really hard. So I says, okay, I got to get out of here. I got to go towards the coast. I got to go to the Carolinas where it's cooler. It's more north. It's more by the water. It was hotter and more humid. I just got sicker. I only lasted 2 days in North Carolina, and I had to. So I says, okay, I'm going to go up to the coast. I'm going to go up towards the New England states. I'll head to Virginia Beach, and then I'm on my way there, and then another heat wave hits Virginia Beach and that whole area there. So I couldn't stay there. I never even made it there, so I just headed back west again and headed towards Montana, where I hooked up with my friend Wanna Wander there and stayed there for a little bit. And it was cooler there because it was a higher altitude, and it just cooled down, and I just finally escape the heat and the radiation. I feel the radiation so bad, especially when the heat triggers. I guess when they, set off whatever they set off to create these heat waves and stuff like that, it's partly radiation because I am super sensitive to the radiation. I don't think people realize they're even being hit with it. Maybe they are. I don't know. Does anybody feel the radiation? I don't know if you feel like I do. They reuse the great. So what do they? What you're saying that they just let the bodies just decay and then they'll put another person into that space? What about people that are coming there to visit and their headstones? They're not there anymore? They're visiting somebody else? It doesn't make sense. I mean, it would have to be like at least like 100 years or something before they recycle the whole the whole graveyard. I mean, I believe that they probably do that, but they would have to do it after a really long time. Okay. Uh, I can't really do anything on here as far as that. You can send me these links here, Oki, to our other thing, and they're going to be taking. I think Messenger might be going away, Facebook Messenger, because they're doing all that stuff on Facebook now. They have these the chats and stuff like that because I'm involved in some of the chats that are for the van lifers and stuff like that to meet up, the nomads and stuff like that have a place to go. So we have another place right now that's on Messenger, but they're shutting all the ones down on Facebook. But I don't really do Facebook. I just do Messenger where I talk to my daughter and a couple few friends there, but I don't because I don't have a smartphone still. I still just have my just my little flip phone. I don't have one. And now my iPad, which is a Generation 6 iPad. They're telling me I need updates, and then the updates for a couple different things, my iPad and for YouTube. And then when I go in there, it says there is no longer any updates for my device. So now I'm having problems. I don't know how to do this now at all with what to do because I don't want to be forced into getting these more devices. Oh, and also, I don't know if you guys know it, maybe you do, but in your smartphones, there's no chips in there for the 5G. The people from that do the work on the cell phones are saying there's no chips in there. They don't need them. They can do whatever they want, but there's something else going on that people are not aware of. I'm not fully aware of it yet, of the full scope of it, but you can look into that and see, these however they're using these phones to control people, but it's not. I don't think people realize that 5G is not what you think it is. It's a weapon system. It's not it's not about your um giving you cell service. There's people in here, so I gotta probably be kind of a little bit thing about what I say and stuff like that. Hi. So so yeah, okay, you can just send that to me through our, either email or through the messenger. Aurelia says, yeah, I remember my mother receiving a letter once to ask if the plot of a relative could be reused. Who was asking her? I mean, I don't know how that works because I just am. I told my daughter, I just throw me in the ground, just let me rot away back into the earth. We don't need no, bunch of caskets and, like making a big to do out of it or something, no morticians and funeral parlors or whatever they're called now. Um, that would be weird having that. And who knows? That's probably they're just fronts for all the organ harvesting that's going on. Just think about well, I don't know. Once they're dead, they can't use the organs though. So there's probably some other kind of nefarious stuff going on though. Who knows what they do? For all you know, they could take the body that you think is buried in the ground in the coffin. You don't see what goes in the ground. It's probably just an empty box. They probably are using the body for some other nefarious reason, like I said. But in like if you're an organ donor, that's a no bueno, man. Because if you go in the hospital and you're listed as an organ donor and you get close to death, they will let you die to get that because they'd have to take that out of your body while you're still alive. So then they'll remove it and use some reason to whatever, saying, "Oh, your loved one's about ready to pass, and we're gonna pull the plug. We have to pull the plug on them when they could be totally healthy, or maybe not necessarily total. Well, they could be, or but they're not necessarily death material at that. So what happened from that letter, receiving the letter? Did she agree to it, or what did they do? How did they do that? What happens next if the plot? She got a letter asking if it could be reused. She gets to determine that. Who makes that decision? Can anybody? Can you just sell your plot? I don't know. I just think it's a big racket. I don't know. I don't know. In the ashes, people saving the ashes and stuff like that. I had my mother's and my sister's ashes, and I don't remember what I did with it. I didn't do anything ceremoniously with it. Just kind of got rid of it because I don't want a bunch of ashes laying around. That's not them. I think every city has a department dealing with this. I don't know. I'd like to find out. I don't know who to ask though. So she agreed to it. Do they did they pay like rent or some kind of uh, like some kind of money or something to be able to use it? I don't understand how it works, so I don't really know. So let me see what time it is. There's people coming in here, so I don't know. My voice starts raising up when I get excited and stuff. So there's another room in here that's a nice room and it's soundproof, but the lighting is like right over my head and it's like super LED, like blue light. It just hurts my eyes too. So my eyes are already hurting from coming where I was playing pinochle and sorry. Um, Plus I ate something at where I was and I don't usually eat out and I had some like coleslaw and I got a headache and I don't know whether it was the light or the food or whatever, but I didn't make me feel very good anyway. So this is like my 4th liter today. So I do like a whole gallon, and then I also do my raw milk, which is also considered plasma. I do about not quite a quart a day of the raw milk, and so I'm almost getting to have almost like a what do you call it, a liquid diet. I mean, I do eat some. I eat meat, and I do eat some vegetables, but not generally because they're indigestible and they're not as good as they say they are. So these poor vegans. Oh my God! I just watched a video about all these like vegans and how like somebody compiled a video showing them time and saying like here they are in 2010 or whatever, and then 2015 and and it showed the progression, how they kept getting skinnier and more gaunt, and their eyes were getting black, and some of them literally died. Vegans are dying in their early 50s and earlier. They're not making it past their 50s. Goat milk is going to make you so healthy, you have no idea. We have nano, what's that say? I can't read, this thing's in my way. Okay. Nano goats in our body, even. What does that mean? And also nano spaceships and nano. You're losing me on that, dude. I don't like goat milk. Sorry. I'll drink it if it's like just drawn that day or something like that. But after a couple of days, it's like, I don't like it. Because I used to drink it before when I lived on Salt Spring Island. I just could not. I just couldn't keep up with it. Just didn't like it. And I know it's, I mean, they're probably, who knows what they're doing to the cows, if they're vaccinating them or whatever they're doing. I wish I could like it. Like I said, I can only drink on the day of. I can't, after a couple of days, it's like, it just gets that goaty taste and I don't like it. And I don't even have an access to it really. Is it considered, the milk you get, is it considered raw? Because I do not want it processed, pasteurized, or homogenated. Because all those processes just further take it from the original product, and all the nutrients get taken away or messed with and stuff like that. So I don't. I drink the ones I drink. I like Guernsey. If I can't get that, I will drink the Jersey cow, but it's not near as nutritious and doesn't have as much fat. You could see the difference when the the cream separates when they're on the shelf. You could see the cream that comes to the top, and then the milk at the bottom on the Jersey one looks more like water than the Guernsey one looks more richer and more yellow and more thicker. Get a goat pet. Yeah, keep it in my van. Sure. That's as bad as what people said I should get chickens and have chickens in my van so I can have eggs. Are you kidding me? People don't think stuff through. I don't know if they were being serious, but I think they were, but I don't know. Are people that retarded? Now my new goal is, okay, I'll tell you what I should talk about this because will help manifest it if I do, is my newest intent is to get a piece of property and build my own house on it, because I can't live in other people's houses that they built, not with the stuff I have in mind. I mean, I could never live in somebody else's house that I don't have control over, because most people have LED lights in their home, and I don't want that. I told you guys before, I was collecting up all these incandescent bulbs. Over the years, I had like so many of them. And then when we cleared out my one storage unit to go to a smaller storage, because I'm just getting rid of all kinds of shit. I'm just like what I call detetherization, cutting loose as many cords as I can to release me from this nightmare, or whatever you want to call it. And my daughter went and gave all those light bulbs to the thrift store after I collected them. And then I called and tried to get it back, and they said, okay, we'll go get them and we'll put them aside for you. I went there and they just had a box of floodlights, which are like worth like $5 or something. I mean, those incandescent bulbs can be used as currency. Like in the future, like people have no idea. And then they're in their houses with air conditioning, the central heating system, and everything is blowing all kind of shit in there, and the dirty electricity in the walls and everything. So I made a decision to not live in a house. That's when I first went out and started sleeping in my car. And like, if I don't have control over the Wi-Fi or anything in a home, I can't like be there. So what I want to do is find a little piece of property, a little piece of land that has good water on it, well water, whatever, spring water would be great if it had a spring on it, and build my own, like I want to partly build a straw bale house. I don't know if who's familiar with straw bale. We actually did this. We built, my husband and I, we had a business called Bobcat. His name was Bobcat Plastering. And we slept on the straw bales and everything during the night while we were helping to build this house. He was a master plasterer. So you plaster right over top of those straw bales, and it looks like just like a regular wall, like plaster on a wall. You can't even tell. In fact, that we would leave, they do this as a thing in the business, some people do anyway. You leave like a little hole, like a little truth window, it's called, where you can actually look through the wall and see the straw bale in there, so you know it's really straw bale. Because otherwise, if you don't see that, it looks like any other wall, because it's plastered right over the straw bale. And it keeps, the house stays cool in the summer and warm in the winter. It's just naturally insulated with the hay, the straw. And I wanted to put it partly into a hillside, like where it'd be, the back part of the house would be underground, and the front part of the house would be the straw bale part. So, and then I could, grow my own food and medicine and stuff wherever it happens to be. So I'm now in the and I've been talking to this guy, has helped kind of we're like having conversations, and he's helping triggering, like things I could do. And he's a builder, he's a mason, and he, can help me with some things. And he says he'll help keep a lookout. He's looking for land too. He said, I'll keep you in mind. And then maybe he says, and you could come park your car on it, whatever. But I want my own space, where I could build my own house. So that would be really cool if I could do that. Yeah, those the ones that they sell for appliances you're talking about, the incandescent bulbs, there's usually 40-watt bulbs. They're incandescent. And then there's like smaller ones, and even the decorative ones are still like that. They haven't switched those over to LED yet. So, but they're mostly going to be 40 watts or less, like 7 to 40 watts. But, I'm okay with 40 watts. 60 would be fine. And I do have a few bulbs that I managed to salvage, and maybe I should start collecting them again. But I think we're going to go back to the bartering system, which is how it should be, moneyless and people helping people. And the ovens, the lights aren't for heat, though. Their lights are for the light. They don't use them to heat I don't know what you're talking about. I know they still use the incandescent bulbs in stoves and in refrigerators, the light bulbs. But I don't know, I have to just check and see if they've switched anything over like that to back over to LED. But I've avoided the LED from the very get-go, because if you remember, if you were in this country, I don't know about other countries, but at least in America, when they first came out, was it like in the 90s, I think it was, the LED started coming out. They gave people free packs of LED bulbs. When they give you anything for free, you're the product. They ain't doing that to help us, believe me. So so then I have control all of this stuff when I have my own home. Like I considered like maybe just building a cabin, but then I want to do the straw bale thing, and I'd like part of it to be underground. I think that would be kind of cool, where it'd be cool in the back, like in the summer when it's hot out. And then I use candles for light at night. I make my own candles. I use beeswax. Beeswax candles give off negative ions, which are the good ones. You do not want positive ions. The negative ions are the healthy ones. And I make my own little candles. And I just found this cute little candle holder. It was a brass candle holder with a glass insert in it. The outside, the brass was scrolled. It was from 1958. It said it at the bottom. Someone gave it to someone as a gift or something, and it had the date of 1958 on it. So it's really old, and it it's a little like, how the brass gets a little discolored. Maybe I could clean it up, but it doesn't really matter because I only use it at night anyway, in the dark, and the glass glows through the scrolling of the brass, and it looks so cool. It just, you could see a little bit on it of I did a couple little videos, shorts that have the glass candle, the latest ones on the thing. So I might just start doing, like, at night when I get these creative ideas. I should, like, I have to figure out a way how to do this though without, because I don't want to turn on my my iPad and the screen hit me in my eyes in the dark, and I need to like break away from the light hurting my eyes and looking at a screen like this all the time. So I don't know. I mean, I haven't bought a new device in 5 years, something like that. This laptop I'm doing this on right now is like about 15 years old. I don't know. It's pretty old. And it still has Windows 7 on it. Oh, so I started to say on my iPad, when they were requesting me to do these downloads that I couldn't even do, but my iPad did one on its own without my permission, and I'm having all kind of problems with it again. Like, that's the reason I don't like doing upgrades, because they're downgrades. They're usually worse. There's more problems after than there were before. I wasn't having any problems with my iPad until now. They pushed this through somehow without my permission, and now it's just creating my thing is freezing up and doing all kind of stuff. I'm having a hard time sending emails to people that are of important, like intelligent people that I'm having discourse with and conversations, and they're trying to stop me from all that. Okay. Wait, I missed something here. I got to go back a little bit and see what you guys are saying here. Okay, where did I leave it? Yeah, I know LED's a weapon. Of course it is. I don't know how much an acre would cost here. I just started really looking into this, and that's probably all I need is just one. I don't even, maybe less than that, but one would be nice. I told you guys before, I don't know if you guys heard it or not, but Putin, what he did in Russia, I think I'd rather live in Russia than live here. But he did this whole thing where he started giving the people, the citizens, plots of land that it's a hectare, but it's 2.5 acres of land to build their own little, what do they call it? It's like I can't think of the word, but it's just like their own little thing. They use living fences to separate them from their neighbors. Like, they have them set up like that. Now, granted, he probably didn't give them the best of land, but you can bring that land back again, with just loving and caring and turning and doing all and watering and doing all the right things. he gave them all this land, and then you set up a living fence, with shrubbery or trees or whatever, and then you plant trees on your property and whatever gardens and stuff like that. It's just amazing. This is what Putin did. He gets so bad mouthed, and maybe he's probably one of them. I don't know, but he's doing this. It's way more than what they're doing for us. And he's literally gave them property to build these little homesteads on. That whole book, The Ringing Cedars of Russia, you should read that. It's a 9-book series. I've read through it 4 whole times, the whole 9 books. I'm like on my 5th time around. I haven't been doing it that much. Right now I'm reading the Don Juan books, Carlos Castaneda's books. And I heard that the first 3 are good, and then after that they captured him. I used that, captured or taken, when somebody gets so far going and then the controllers come in and stop it from happening. Like they'll let them write, but they can't write everything you want to say. So he got captured. So I heard the first 3 books are good. Oh, and as far as the Ringing Cedars of Russia books, the first 2 editions of those books are okay. The 3rd one and beyond, if there's other ones, is not any good anymore. It's been bastardized. It's been corrupted. So if you can get the first edition, would be the best. I have the 2nd edition. My daughter bought me the whole 9-book series for me as a gift. So my daughter's given me some really good gifts. She got me a microscope to be able to look at the nano and the fibers and doing all that stuff. She's helped me build the triangle and the anti-nano bucket that Tony Pantalaresco taught people how to do, and now Fire Medic's doing. I don't know if you guys know who Fire Medic. I'm following more people on Substack and moving away from YouTube because YouTube is so corrupted and so nonsense. A lot of it's just garbage. It's hard to find really good information on there. They're more. It's more about entertainment than it is about education, and I'm about learning and helping to educate others. I do have a teacher's license that I didn't get through university. And I've had that since 1969. So, okay, so $40,000 for an acre of land? Is that what it's not that much. No. I don't know, maybe where you are it's that much. Uh-oh, wait, what happened here? I went the wrong way. You want to live there too? Let's go. Let's go, Okie. But the thing is, I haven't been on a plane since the whole 2001 event. I refused to let them molest me and make me take my shoes and humiliate me and do all that stuff. I just won't do it. I won't go anywhere. So maybe it's just right next door. The geography is not what they're telling us. It's got to be way different. So I don't know. I bet if you go up into Canada, you could probably, like for me, going north and then go west, I think I'd end up in Russia, in the Siberia, in the boreal forest, or the snow forest there. But I don't want to live there. But that's where Anastasia is the heroine of the story. She's the one literally channeling it, I guess you could call it, to the author, who is not really a writer, but she chose him to do to present these books through him. So he's like really dumbed down, and he thinks this is good and that's good, and he talks about stupid stuff that's not real, but she knows she's like the intelligent one, and she had 2 babies to him allegedly. I don't know. You hear they talk about the son in the books, things the son's doing, like he's super smart, because they don't have all the indoctrination that we get. And then the daughter, you never really hear much about her, so I don't even know what's happened. So you think Putin's good too? I think he is. I don't know, but he's got to be. He can't be like. He's got to be better than Trump. I don't know. So I don't know. I just feel real attracted to there. There's a, it's not like it is here. I don't think. I mean, people probably think that, but see, somebody agrees with me anyway. It's not just me that I'm like. I don't know like firsthand. I never met the guy, but just my gut feelings and just from what I've read in those books. And there's a few people that finally I found that have read those books that are talking more highly intelligent, you know, kind of ideas and thoughts and stuff like that. So, but they're not on YouTube. Let's see if any of them are. Let me think. I don't know. I just came across them because I've been put like you can go back in my videos and see where I was talking about the ringing cedars like years ago, and I couldn't find anybody. Like America is so dumbed down. Don't they don't even consider it, don't want to. I've told a lot of people about it and they just they don't seem to care. Like and it's not really their fault. I mean, some people it is because I try to, tell people about what's going on. They don't want to hear it. It's like, no, 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 don't tell them. Like they get mad at me and walk away when I try to tell them about the vitamin D3. People do not want to hear it. They would rather just keep taking the poison than listen to somebody try to warn them from taking it. I mean, it's nuts. I mean, you guys probably you've seen it on. I put it up a second time about my vitamin D thing because you could see they're not allowing it to go through. There's like, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred views when it should have thousands of views. People should be like, so I know it can't be going out, but I also know that people would rather watch stupid shit or be frightened by other things that aren't real and then ignore the things that are really happening. Like this, they're giving, vitamin D is rat poison. It's the same exact ingredients, cholecalciferol. It robs your bones of the calcium and it deposits it somewhere else in your blood, in your arteries, and you get the hardening of the arteries. And people are taking this like they're thinking they're healthy. It's not healthy. I don't take any drugs. I don't take any supplements. Nothing. And people my age are on like at least a half a dozen medications. They think they need it. They don't realize that cholesterol is a good thing. They think it's a bad thing because that's how they've been programmed to believe. So I finally talked to this lady today. She was like 80 years old. And she was like agreeing. She wanted more information from me. She wanted it. And I said, do you really want me to tell you about this? She goes, yes. Where this other lady who was having all these health issues and stuff. And I naturally want to help people. And I asked her, I says, do you want to know about the vitamins? Do you want to hear about even one vitamin? She goes, no, no. She shows that's willful ignorance. And my people perish. My people perish for lack of knowledge. I think Putin is an excellent statesman. I have enormous respect for him. That's good that you do too. I'm surely good. Vitamin D, vitamin death. Just the word, okay, the vitamin D, the cholecalciferol, is the same exact main ingredient that's in D-con. Doesn't that tell you something right there? It's called D-con, D-C-O-N. It's it's been around for a long time, but I think I noticed that it's not on the shelves as much. I've only seen it in a couple of stores, and now they're replacing it with some other kind of poison. I don't remember. I think it starts with a B. I should write it down to help put it into my memory. Yeah, I finally did. That was a little while ago, I guess. It was earlier this year when I did that. But they're still not. I watch them. They give me, like, I'll get 9 or 10 subs. They take 6 or 8 of them away. So it's only increasing by a couple at a time. Like for every 10, I lose 8. seems to be what was happening. Vitamins are made of petroleum and other things I just told you about. There's lots of different chemicals in these things. There's a couple of people, in fact, I just hooked up with a girl today. I sent her an email telling her I would be willing to do her proofreading because she tends to make mistakes like, just grammar and stuff like that. And I offered to do it for her for no charge. I said, you could just give me free subscriptions or something, whatever, but I won't charge you. And she was so grateful for it. And she says, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, and she's talking about the vitamins and just a whole bunch of different stuff. Her and another guy, his agent 131711, I think it is. So these are two people that I follow on Substack. They're not on YouTube anywhere. But these are people actually taking steps to change things, to educate people to. And she does a detox program. I don't know about hers. It's like I do my own kind of detox. I doubt that she's going to be able to tell me anything that I don't already know. And I might be able to teach her some things. I've been doing this for a really long time. This is my trade. I've been in the healing arts for like, I don't know, over 60, like 60 years, over 50 years. And people get mad at me because they want to tell me stuff that it's like that was news 20 years ago. It's like you're behind the curve. Got to get on with it. Like, because people are actually saying things like as if they're teaching me something that I knew like 20 or more years ago, 30 years ago. And I'm watching how all these things are happening and they're not putting it together. They're not seeing it. A lot of people don't have any context for it. Like people that, came in 30 years ago think they're learning something new when it's like well beyond that now. Yeah, most of the medicine is made out of that. And other things too. Wow, how did that happen? That you had 2001? Why? What happened that caused that? Do you know? Were you talking about something in particular that caused that, or they just did it to you? And where was it on YouTube? Don't you have another? Don't you have a Substack or something different? Or are you talking about YouTube? Because they're saying like these other ones, like Rumble, they're having problems with Rumble and BitChute and all other ones. The platforms are all like probably going to go down. I don't know what they're going to do. They're planning something big. I have a feeling that something is going to happen between now and the end of the year. Most likely, if there's a start and end period, I'm guessing, I can't prove this, but I'll just say it, that it will happen like right after Halloween, because that's what happened last year. I got hit up with something, I can't even explain it, some kind of weapon or something that made me stop doing everything I was doing. You could see literally where it cut off, and then I didn't do anything for like a half a year. That's how bad it was. And I mean, they're affecting my brain, this whole Havana syndrome thing. There's actually an organization now. It's called Targeted Justice, where the targeted individuals who got a bad rap, just like the conspiracy theorists and all that stuff, they don't want you to believe us. And the guy that heads it up did a video, and I might start crying because it really affected me to see this poor man struggling to remember what he was even talking about when he's having this interview with a girl. And I could relate to him so much. I says, oh my God, that's what I'm going to be like soon from what they're able to do to us. Us people who know stuff that and he's an older guy. He's probably a little bit younger than me, but you see they're getting rid of us seniors and elders. They're trying to eliminate us because they don't want us talking to you and telling you. I don't think anybody here is as old as I am. I on my when you go into your, what do they call, on YouTube or whatever, to show you your analytics, my audience are mostly millennials, mainly millennials, and surprisingly male. I don't know if that's really true what they're telling me, but it's like there's like it's something like 75 to 25%, 75% male to 25% female. I find that hard to believe, but maybe. But I also know in real life, I have this attraction to with these male millennials, not females, males. Occasionally there might be a female, but most of the time it's mostly men. So I don't know what to make of that, what that means. At first I was like sort of making fun of the millennials, but I don't anymore. Especially now with these um the what's happened to Gen Z, how they're like so affected by what's happening, how they're like just what they can do to people, that how they can affect our minds, our brains, and how they're activating it somehow. So it really hurt me to watch him, and he's like probably way more affected than I am. And I'm way more affected than most people, but he was real. I mean, it just broke my heart to see him struggling, because I have to do that. Like, I will look at the clock and see what time it is, and then I'll look away and it doesn't register at all. And then I got to look again. I got to either say it out loud or something to help me to know what it is. This is crazy what they can do to us. And then they want everybody to think we're crazy. And this whole thing, I think, with dementia and schizophrenia, or maybe not schizophrenia, more the Alzheimer's and dementia. I'm not really sure what the difference is between them. It's stuff they can do to us to make us. We should be living way longer, way healthier lives. Okay, Oki is saying, I'm originally from Israel and I'm pro-Palestine, so maybe that's the reason for. I'm not sure what that's the reason for. Did I miss something else? I don't know. So I don't really get into that too much because I'm not educated enough to really talk about it. I know the things I know that I can talk about, like the food, the plasma, some of the nanotech stuff. But when it comes to politics, I don't get involved with that. I just, like when Trump came on the scene the first time, I knew immediately, to just knowing that he was some kind of evil demon or whatever the hell they are. And I just don't really get into politics too much. I've only gotten into this whole Charlie Kirk thing because I saw what was happening, and it's not just politics. It's about what they're doing to us and how they can affect us. So I didn't follow him to know what his policies were or where he stood and stuff like that, because I don't do politics. But I could see how they used him as a puppet to, like, do what they're doing. They're casting a major spell. This is what, the time of the year for, it's the chaos magical time of the year. The veil's thin, the rituals start happening at the end of October, like right at Halloween into November. And I think, like I started to say before, that it will, I don't know if it will start then and keep continuing, but I think it's between Halloween, October, the end of October, and like the winter solstice. Like before the end of the year, in the next, let me see, this is September, October, November, December, within the next 3 months, some big event like a 9/11 event type thing, or I don't know what they're going to do or how they're going to pull it off, but it's probably going to be something like the internet will go down. The um, I don't know what they got planned for us. It's just crazy, and they want everybody to like go nuts and lose their mind. They're already starting it. You could see it already happening if your eyes are open and you're backed up far enough. You can see it. If you're too involved in it, it's hard to see. And if you're picking sides like different, politicians, you're for this guy, you think Trump's a good guy or any of these fucking demons and Peter Thiel. Okay, just that word alone, his name, the anagram for Peter Thiel, the reptile. What are the friggin' odds of that? That somebody's name can be that down, all the way down to the exact amount of letters in his name that anagrams into the reptile. What are the odds of that? Yeah, I bet you have more insight on it because you know more about it than we would because you're from that area. So the whole Holocaust thing, though, there's a lot of the old Holocaust that probably is not like what they said. I don't believe it's no 6 million people, just like I don't think there's 8 or 9 billion people in this world now. No way. Especially now with all the people dying and being whatever they're doing to people with the whole, the homeless thing, uh, the vaccines and stuff like that. Who knows what the actual counts are? They're using this flu season, like the whole COVID thing was based on the flu season. There's one in the spring and there's one in the fall, and it happens every year to pretty much everybody. That is a cleansing process that you go through 2 times a year. If you notice, that's when most people get sick. They get a cold, they get a flu. That's all that is detoxing. And they capitalized on that and they used that to scare the shit out of people to convince them they needed to get, stabbed. Well, America is becoming one too, don't you think? Do you guys realize what's going on like with the cops in this country? And now Trump putting out this new, I don't know if it's legislation or if it's real, if it's going to happen or not, to making homelessness a criminal act. How can they do this? I mean, not everybody's choosing to be homeless, and they're already beaten down, and they're now, they've been like trying to make it look like they're helping the drug addicts by giving them needles and practically giving them the drugs. They're only like $3 and $5 now for what used to cost like $30 or $40 for like a hit or whatever. And then this thing, I don't know if it's I think it's the trank. I thought it was the trank, but I don't know if you ever see any of these videos of like like Kensington outside of Philadelphia and just all these different hot spots, Portland and Seattle and stuff like that. When you see these people who are literally bent, folded over, standing there folded over. I thought it was the trank, but it could be a combination. It's whatever they're giving those people. They're taking them. It's just like so sad to watch. And I'm glad I'm not a drug addict in this time and age with what's going on. For 80 years now, Zionism has murdered 7 million Palestinians because the Khazars hate Arabs for a long, long time now. It's hard for me to read because I have the sunlight is right behind me and it's hitting on my screen, so it's harder to see. So, actually, I'm supposed to be out of here now at 6 o'clock. They gave me from 4 to 6. I don't know if this is a good time or not. I have to maybe find a a different day and a different time to um I don't know. Okay, did you say it was in the morning there, or is it in like in the night 2 in the morning or in the afternoon 2? I don't know what your time is there. So but I guess I got to get out of here because there's going to be another party of people coming in at 6:30. They have the room, so I have to like shut it down pretty soon. So if there's anything anybody wants to ask or say or whatever, feel free to do it now. It's 3 now. Okay, yeah, it was an hour ago. You said it was like 2, so I didn't know if it was 2 in the afternoon. It's 2 in the morning because I have friends in. I have to always figure out the different times um, where people are, right? And you're. Uh, oh, okay. Well, sorry to keep you awake. Okay, well, you can go to bed now. Um, so other people, like I have friends in West Africa that are like a 7 hour difference. I think Germany, is that you, Ariel? Um, is 8 hours difference. So I have to remember. So I was just asking people to say what is the best time for them, and then I'll try to figure out where I can accommodate the most people, or else I could do. And Tommy's from Canada. Thank you very much for showing up, everyone. Just have sweet dreams, sweet, happy dreams. I don't hardly remember my dreams. You know, I remember little snippets of it, but if I don't like write it down, I'm not gonna. It's like gone. If I can't even look at the clock and remember what time it was from seconds ago. Like I can remember some things that happened 60 years ago, but then I can't remember something 60 seconds ago. So it's short term versus long term memory that they're affecting our short term memory. So anyhow, I don't know, people are coming in now. Hi, hon. I was just thinking of you. It's crazy to see. I'll be off in a minute. I'm just gonna close up do my YouTube live there. So at 6:30, yeah, that's what they said. So I'll be off in a couple minutes. Okay, so they're gonna come in and do whatever their meeting is. So I have to get off. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, if you want to let me know your Central European time. So what time is it there then? Is it an 8 hour difference? I have to like, I don't know. They're saying that planes, like this one friend of mine, because he has this thing with the planes all the time running over him and he's by an airport. He says that the planes take off to go somewhere, but they go through cities and like real slow and real low to like disturb people before they go off on their way. She also is at 3 in the morning too. Okay. That's what I thought. So that's like 8 hours. So okay. But anyhow, I don't know. I even have it says I have subs in India, so I don't even know what time it is would be in India. I don't know that anyone's here is from India, but um so anyhow, okay, I guess I better shut down and say goodbye. And I'm gonna try to get back on my schedule where I do like a once a week live. And I don't know what day is best for people. Maybe I could skip around days and see what people like the most, what helps whoever wherever they are. So and it's like so late, it's so early in the morning. So would it be better for me to do um uh shoot, if I did it in the morning, no, that wouldn't work for me. I can't do mornings. And for me to do it later, then like it's 3 hours on the other coast, so it's like 9 o'clock on the east coast of the United States. It's 9 there. so it's 6 o'clock here. So I don't know if I should do it maybe earlier, like around 2 in the afternoon here. It would be still late for you guys, though. Oh, man, I don't know. 1 o'clock would be like 9 o'clock your time. I don't know. Okay, well, thanks everyone for showing up and for sharing and caring about what's going on in the world and trying to help. We need to try to come together, join forces, because it's power in numbers. We don't need we don't need everybody. We just need a few good people with good intent to help steer this in a good direction. So, hope everyone stays healthy, happy, humored, laugh as much as you can, and hydrated. That's the new 4-H Club 2025. Much love to everyone around the world.